welcome to Newsline. It's Friday, 23rd November, and I'm Khalida Hassan. The Nasdaq Stock Exchange, or simply known as Nasdaq, is an American stock exchange, which is the second largest stock exchange exists in the world by market capitalization, following the report of one of the companies listed under Nasdaq.
Amazon.com, an online retailer, is a vast internet-based enterprise that sells books, music, movies, housewares, electronics, toys, and many other goods. Over the past 5 days, which is from November 12 until November 16, Amazon.com has shown a decline in its stock price. On November 12, Amazon.com traded at $1,636.85. As you can see, the price decreases to $1,631.17 on 13th November and continues to decrease by $1,599.01 on 14th November. However, it slightly increases to $1,619.44 by 15th November and lastly, slightly decreased by $1,593.41.
The Hong Kong Stock Exchange is Asia's third largest stock exchange, following behind Tokyo Stock Exchange and Shanghai Stock Exchange. It is the sixth largest stock exchange in the world, following the report of HSBC as one of the companies listed on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange.
HSBC Holdings is a banking and financial services company which operates across various geographical regions, which include Europe, Asia, Middle East, and North Africa, North America, and Latin America. As you can see, the current share price of HSBC has declined from 65.05 Hong Kong dollar on 12 November to 64.75 Hong Kong dollar on 13 November. However, the share price of HSBC has increased sharply between 14 November to 16 November, where the price increased from 65.25 Hong Kong dollar to 66 Hong Kong dollar and finally to 66.2 Hong Kong dollar.
Bursa Malaysia is a stock exchange in Malaysia where the financial instruments such as equities and derivatives are traded on a day-to-day basis, following the report of Axiata as one of the companies listed under Bursa Malaysia.
The company was formerly known as TM International Berhad and changed its name to Axiata Group Berhad in March 2009. Axiata Group Berhad was incorporated in 1992 and is headquartered in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. As one of Asia's leading telecommunication groups, Axiata has investment in mobile network operation, network infrastructure, and digital internet companies, serving approximately 320 million subscribers in 10 countries across the region. The value of traded shares amount of 30,003,664 ringgit. According to the graph, the current share price from 12 to 14 November 2018 slightly decreasing from 3 ringgit 52 cent to 3 ringgit 44 cent and started growing on 15 November to 16 November at 3 ringgit 46 cent to 3 ringgit 50 cent.
The Toronto Stock Exchange is a stock exchange exists in Toronto, Canada. It is the 12th largest stock exchange exists in the world by market capitalization. The Toronto Stock Exchange is wholly owned by TMX Group, following the report of one of the companies listed on the Toronto Stock Exchange.
Yamana Gold Incorporation is a Canadian-based gold producer that began its operation in 2003 with significant gold production, gold development stage properties, exploration properties, and land positions in Canada, Brazil, Chile, and Argentina. From November 12 until November 16, Yamana Gold Incorporation stock has increased by 3.26% in price. Shares of Yamana Gold Incorporation recorded 11.54% loss during trading session in the previous week. The scrip traded as low as $2.76. The firm has previously closed at $2.9 on November 12. It drops again on November 13 with $2.73. However, It tries to double when the stock increases on November 14 with $2.81 and continues to increase $2.833 on November 15 and $2.85 on November 16.
The Singapore Stock Exchange is managed by Singapore Exchange Limited, commonly known as SGX. The Singapore Stock Exchange has seen a rise in its real estate investment trust sector in recent years, following the report of Bestworld as one of the companies listed on the Singapore Stock Exchange.
Founded in 1990, Bestworld International is a company which specializes in the development, manufacture and distribution of premium skincare, personal care, nutritional and wellness products. According to the graph, there was a sharp increase between 12 November to 14 November from $1.81 to $2. And as you can see, there was a substantial increase on 15 November to 16 November where the price rises from $2.03 to $2.11.
According to the Five Stock Market, it is advisable for the investors to invest into Hong Kong Stock Exchange. Here we invite Mr. John M. Flint as the Group Chief Executive of HSBC Holdings.
Okay, firstly, I would like to say thank you for having me over, Khalida Hassan, in this stunning studio to talk about the capital market in Hong Kong.
Thank you, Mr. Flint. What makes Hong Kong Stock Exchange is the most preferable stock exchange to be invested in?
Okay, Hong Kong Capital's account is freely convertible, means there is no restriction, and the investor can bought and sold the securities, the properties, gold, silver, and other goods without any restrictions.
How is the condition in Hong Kong?
Hong Kong is generally a free market economy, means there is no government intervention in dealing with goods and services. That means all the prices of goods and services all depends on supply and demand. So the government has nothing to do with the price.
What is the revenue and cost incurred in HSBC Holdings?
Okay, talking about revenue, we first expected that we only grown about 4% only. Fortunately, we managed to advance, we managed to grow beyond our expectation to 7%, means it has advanced about 2% from our expectation.
Is there any risk in HSBC Holdings?
Of course, there is risk not only in Hong Kong, not only in HSBC, when we are dealing with the financial institutions across the world. Every single bank in the world must have the credit and the market risk, which means that the bank has to encounter with the risk, like when they lend their money, to the individual borrower, and then let's say if one day the borrower cannot pay the debt that they lent from the bank, so the bank has to face this kind of eventuality or possibility from this kind of borrower.
Thank you, Mr. Flynn, for your time.
Okay.
And thank you all for joining us on Newsline. We'll be back tomorrow at 5. And until then, good night and take care.